Hey guys, Submoto here. So if you've been following me on Facebook, you probably know that I've busted a nut um, and a bolt. And basically what happened was the nut right here, which had the bolt for the swing arm right here that holds the wheel, just popped off. It broke, like the actual bolt inside the axle broke like that. Really weird. Actually, it's not supposed to happen, but it did. And I'm contacting the people I bought it at and finding out how that could be possible and see if I can get my money back or something. Because I bought that axle completely new about a year ago. And also, as you can tell, there's been some winter damage, really rusty pipe. So I'm gonna get that sanded down and just paint it black with heat-resistant paint, and just kind of shine her up a bit and get her ready to go. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing today. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to have to take this nut off. So I'm just going to test to see if I can turn that. If the bolt turns with it, which it does, then I'm going to have to wait until the axle is out. It's a pretty simple operation, actually. You don't really have to do much as far as putting the bike on a stand or anything like that. So here's the new axle, and it's an original piece, which the other one was as well. So I have no idea why it broke, but anyway. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, and I don't have a hammer, because the way you want to go about it is basically just pushing the old bolt out with the new one. And that way it'll just sit in place. That's how I did the last one, and it worked just, well, that's not why it broke, right? But anyway, so just hitting it. I don't have a hammer here because I'm kind of like on the fly and on the go. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my wrench, my big wrench, but it's really heavy, so it should be fine. It should be fine. If not, I'll ask someone for a hammer or something. But before I do that, I just kind of want to give it a layer of just kind of make it easier for me to push it through and lubricate it just a little bit. Okay, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I got a piece of wood here, kind of to protect the bolt. Okay, the bolt just fell out as I've been pushing this into place like that. Really simple job, actually. Just sometimes it can be a little bit hard. And there it comes. There she is. Been pulling a lot of gunk with it. So here's a thing, and maybe some of you guys can help me. So originally I had a lot of play on my rear swing arm, like it was just loose. So I figured it was the bearings inside the swing arm, and so I bought a whole new set. And I think I made a video on that actually, and changed the bearings and everything inside the swing arm, basically the whole, like a complete set. Changed that, and I put it back on. And it still had kind of some play in there. And so I replaced the bolt, got a new bolt, and it was still sort of tight. And I had a torque wrench and the whole thing. It did everything the way I was supposed to, followed the Haynes manual, and still it was kind of loose. So if it's not the bearings and it's not the bolt, I don't know what the hell it is. And I guess I just sort of lived with it. I mean, it's not that bad. This is actually very little. But it's not even got bolts on it. So basically, that's what that was. And I tightened it up just a little bit more than the Haynes manual asked for. And it got tighter. But then I noticed that it was too tight, so I loosened and put it back to specs, and I left it on specs. So I've been riding with specs, not tighter than it's supposed to. This is not the original bolt, I can tell you that. But I just found this out recently because this came with the bike. But I doubt, but it broke like past the washer, so it can't be that. And then the axle broke. So I don't know how the hell that happens. If any of you have an idea as to what it could be, shoot. Or if you had similar experience. The thing I was thinking, it could be the frame, like the actual hole in the frame. If it's gotten worn to where it's not round but oval, that could be a reason. And in that case, I don't even know how to go about fixing that. Probably like welding a ring on, or I don't know. So yeah, it could be that. But so yeah. So here goes nothing. Gonna put the bolts on and should be ready to go. Okay, I took the exhaust off and it is simply completely rusted. And I mean, there's so much rust on it, there's just no way I can get it off. I've been trying with sandpaper. I'm gonna probably have to get a new one. And they're not that expensive, so it's not too bad. But still kind of stupid. So I'm just gonna go ahead and paint over it just for now. I mean, it's not something I would recommend doing, but it's just because it might just look half open until I get a new one. So, and the wrap, you can paint on the wrap, so that's not a big deal. And I have no idea how rusted it is inside. I almost don't dare to think how rusted it could be underneath the wrap, but I'm gonna go ahead and paint that and see how that works out. Okay, guys. So that was it. Sorry I didn't get to show how I put the pipe back on, but I have other videos on there like how I did that, so there's no real point. I just kind of I took the pipe off and sprayed it. And it dries really quick, and then it'll dry even quicker once it gets hot. So that's why I got the bike running. And yeah, it's still kind of loose, like the rear wheel. Not much, but still on there. And I got everything on there, so hopefully it won't break this time around. Oh man, it's one of those jobs that you say, yeah, it's gonna take me half an hour, and ends up taking 3 hours, just because like the nut was stuck and well, everything was just rusted. It's typical, you know. Whenever you say, at least if you say, oh, if a job's gonna take you like a certain amount of time, at least count on it being like double as long. So yep, I am a stinky ass bastard, that's for sure, right now. And greasy, disgusting piece of humanity. Oh, it feels okay, actually. So I got some friends that I'm gonna meet up with in town, and there's no way I'm going down like this, so I'm just gonna go get cleaned up first. Oh, such a satisfying feeling being back on my bike. I really missed her. I really missed her. I mean, it's been way too long. So yeah. And it's been a while since I've made how-to videos, like if you even call that a how-to. It wasn't a how-to. It was more like, look, my bike broke. I fixed it. Video. Is that a category? So anyway, that's all I got for you guys today from Berlin. So remember to subscribe and ride. I'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye.